Deconstructing Introductions, an overview. This is the first video in the Deconstructing Introduction series, a series intended to train you in the art of crafting the 7 elements of an introduction for research writing. Introductions are an integral component of research writing. But what is research writing and how is it distinct from other genres like analysis essays? Analysis essays are a question-answer genre and are typically less concerned with the scholarly conversation or with extensive reflection on the broader problems in the field. Research writing is a problem-solution genre, which means that a research essay not only answers a question by curating reasons and evidence, but also addresses a problem by assessing alternatives and proposing a solution. Research writers must research the broader problem about which the scholars disagree to show the relation of their argument to the broader conversations in the field. Thus, research writing is not just about proving your answer to the research question. It also requires you to understand and evaluate the scholarly conversations related to your research problem and connect your argument to a possible solution. For research essays, introductions typically follow a structure similar to the one reproduced here. Although researchers often adapt this outline according to their audience's needs, one can usually identify some variation of these elements in every effective introduction. These elements include the hook or prelude, shared context or rhetorical situation, research question, research problem or involved issue, literature review or scholarly conversation, thesis or solution, and an advanced organizer. Although most writers regard introductions as attention getters or summaries of what's to follow, introductions should aim at so much more than just these 2 goals. An effective introduction should accomplish at least 5 interrelated purposes. You can remember these 5 purposes by the acronym CLEAR. Every introduction should be clear, clarifying the context, literature, exigence, argument, and reasoning of your writing. First, an introduction should set the context. Your introduction should enable readers to understand what field or discipline you are participating in, what questions you are tackling, and what object you are researching. Writers often clarify the context of their writing in the hook, shared context, and research question. Second, an introduction should present the surrounding relevant literature. Your introduction should briefly survey what the scholars are saying and writing about your object of study, as well as about your research question and problem. Writers typically clarify the literature relevant to their writing in the shared context and literature review. Third, an introduction should establish exigence, or the motivation for writing. This is why introductions are so much more than attention getters. It is possible to grab the reader's attention in a way that does not focus them on the value of your argument. However, good researchers always clarify what is at stake if readers do not understand or adopt their argument or line of reasoning. Writers typically clarify the exigence of their writing in the hook, shared context, and research problem. Fourth, an introduction should frame the argument. Your introduction should identify the fundamental question your essay seeks to answer and the problem your essay seeks to solve. Your introduction should also include your clear, concise, argumentative thesis, which is usually styled as a single sentence near the end of the introduction and answers the research question and proposes a solution to the research problem. Some call the thesis in research writing a 2-part thesis because it should not only answer the research question, but also weigh in on the broader research problem. Fifth, an introduction should outline the reasoning that underlies your argument. Your introduction should identify the key lines of reasoning that support your thesis in order to orient readers to the progression and distinctiveness of your argument. Writers typically clarify their reasoning in the thesis and advanced organizer. A clear and effective introduction to a research essay should always accomplish these 5 purposes. Note that the length of an introduction should correspond to the length of the essay, only rarely exceeding 5 to 10% of the overall essay. Thus, a short 5 to 10 page essay should typically include an introduction of half a page to a page. Essays from 15 to 20 pages long may include introductions that range anywhere from a page to 2 pages, and so forth. A dissertation or thesis, however, will likely include an introduction section of numerous pages as per the program's guidelines. Moreover, the length of the introduction should also correspond to the target audience's familiarity with the topic and the nuance or complexity of the topic. The less familiar and more complex the topic or argument, the longer the introduction will likely be. Thank you for watching this overview video. To continue the series in sequence, look for the next video on the hook or prelude. Or if you have questions or would like help on one of these specific introductory elements, please feel free to skip ahead to the corresponding video. Thank you, and keep writing.